Knicks fall to the Celtics 119-117 in overtime here at Madison Square Garden. A lot to get to. Ian Begley joins me to discuss. Ian, the Knicks were up 3 with 2 seconds left in regulation, and they let Jason Tatum get a 3 off. What are your thoughts on the decision not to foul in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think you fouled there, right? Probably 9 times out of 10. And it was interesting because after the game, you got a different story in the locker room and the press conference from Tom Thibodeau saying that, hey, Jason Tatum is facing the basket. They're coming in transition. It's not off a dead ball, so it's a tricky situation. OG Anunoby saying straight up he should have fouled.
Yeah.
He made a mistake not fouling. So Anunoby kind of acknowledging, I'm sure, what everybody watching at home thought. And really, the Knicks all night struggled to defend the 3. Had Kristaps Porzingis coming in, hitting 8 threes, including a big one, 40 seconds to go in overtime that broke a late tie. He was having fun tonight.
Yeah, 34 points from Kristaps Porzingis. He knows how to play in this building, so definitely showing that off. Let's talk about the fact that the Knicks have not beat the Celtics this season. They haven't beat any of the top teams in the Eastern Conference this season, but you were in that locker room. What positives are they taking out of this loss? Because it was the smallest margin of victory for the Celtics against them this season.
Yeah, I think one thing that was referenced was kind of sticking together. Jalen Brunson talked about, hey, we got down and we didn't hang our heads, we hung together. And that's big for a team that, you know, the cohesion hasn't always been there this season, and now they're fully whole and they continued to fight. And I thought, you know, Mitchell Robinson looked pretty good. He came in with Miles McBride off the bench and really changed the game in the second half. So a couple positives to take from this one, but still that record against top teams is ugly and it's concerning.
Yeah, the playoffs are right around the corner. You got to be able to beat these teams right now. So Jalen Brunson, you mentioned him, still not at his best, but still scored in the 20s, better than he did on Sunday. Where do you think he's coming along, and do you think he'll be at full strength for the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that was the goal for him, to come back with 5 games to go, to be at full strength and to get his rhythm back, to get his conditioning back in time for the postseason. You saw him take a big leap tonight because he had the points, but he also had 10 assists. He was really passing the ball well. When they sent a second defender at him, he seemed to read the floor really well. He didn't want to say that he was getting fully back in rhythm, but he did say he's getting there. So for Jalen Brunson, who's very modest when he's talking about himself, for him to say that tells you a lot.
I think this game, obviously not the outcome the Knicks wanted, but a step in the right direction against this Celtics team. Now they have another test. They go to Detroit on Thursday. That could have some sort of playoff implications. So a big game for the Knicks. Ian, thanks for joining me.
It is time for Whaddya Say, JJ, as John Jastrzemski joins us. And JJ, what's going to cause more restless nights for you and other Knicks fans? Not fouling Tatum at the end of regulation, or Bridges dropping that pass at the end of OT?
Oh my goodness, Eamon, this is not even close. Of course, it's the Knicks and Coach Thibodeau deciding to not foul. Up 3, Jason Tatum, red hot in the second half, bangs threes left and right. The entire Celtic team can shoot the ball lights out from beyond the three-point arc. Don't give them an opportunity inside of 10 seconds to go and tie that game. Play the percentages, play the math. It's going to work to your advantage. That's going to haunt me a lot more than that miscue by Mikal Bridges, because to me, at that point in time, Eamon, the Knicks were kind of cooked. They might have been able to tie the game. They had the game won at the end of regulation. And if you want an honorable mention, how about on their final possession after the Tatum 3, Josh Hart taking that shot? That's what we're drawing up after the timeout. Your worst shooter shooting the ball at the end of regulation. Hated it.
All right, there's the decision not to foul, and then look, it's easy to play defense while you're hanging out in the newsroom. OG Anunoby's a great defender, but once Tatum gets under the 3, why don't you just let him go?
Give him the 2.
So, you know, that was questionable defense as well.
Give him the 2. But again, if you foul up 3, you're playing percentages. Then all of a sudden, Boston has to decide, am I going to make both free throws? Am I going to try to miss on purpose? It's one of my biggest pet peeves in watching the NBA and college basketball. Foul up 3. You're going to get burned far more by a shooter hitting a shot to tie a game than you are offensive rebounds and all of the stuff that can unfold over the final seconds.
I think coaches are just afraid of fouling a guy shooting for 3, obviously. All right, the Knicks get one more crack at the Cavs on Friday night, but right now they are 0-9 against the Celtics, the Cavs, and the Thunder. JJ, so much hope for this team after the 2 big trades. Any chance they can make a second-round matchup interesting?
Interesting, perhaps. The idea of the Knicks going and beating the Boston Celtics is beyond nonsensical. I mean, Boston basically didn't have Jaylen Brown for 3.5 quarters of this game. Al Horford is still celebrating the championship the Florida Gators won on Monday night. Both of those guys would be back for a potential second-round series. If you want positives, though, the emergence of Anunoby, who, yes, had an off night against the Celtics. He's been much better offensively. Karl Anthony Towns had his best game against the Celtics, and maybe he found the comfort level in being able to attack Jason Tatum. And you throw in the fact that Jalen Brunson had a month of rest. That, to me, is your positive. But the Knicks can't beat a good team. At least they get the honorable mention. They get the old college try-aiming for a close game, which is something we did not see in the other matchups against Boston or Cleveland, for that matter. But the idea of the Knicks, this team beating the Celtics, no chance.
I'm curious, is that what it was listed on the injury report for Horford? Celebration?
It should be.
All right, JJ.
Or old, one or the other.
Or old. That's us.